So here's to those moments when peace fills our days. On Z101.9 FM, we'll find so many ways to connect and uplift. It's a beautiful ride, together forever on the brighter side.
This is the brighter side with NYA the brand on Z101.9 FM.
From Monday's whisper to Friday's cheer, you find the silver lining in all we hold dear. On the brighter side where the dreams collide, NYA, you're our guiding light. Through the ups and downs, you lift us high. With every beat of your heart, we're alive tonight. So let's dance to the rhythm of hope and grace. In this crazy world you carved out of space. Your words are magic, they heal and inspire. On Z101.9, you set our souls on fire.
This is the brighter side with NYA the brand on Z101.9 FM.
She know. She know me treat her better than her man, but she a worry about the millions. Yeah. You love me for true, but certain things in life I say you want to do. Hey. So you say me need to understand that you are made for a money man. But if you can't love me now, don't love me later. When my later is much greater, it only proves that you love the paper, my paper. If you can't love me now, don't love me later. When my later is much greater, come in, no one, no impersonator for my paper. Girl, do you love me or do you love him? Who introduced you to kissing and hugging and gentle rubbing and sexy touching? Admit it, girl, I'm giving you the proper loving. Oh, the thing is that you rich on me. It shouldn't be because I'm only make you switch from me. Cause if you leave, girl, nobody come back. Because my heart won't offer you no other comfort. So if you can't love me now, don't love me later. When my later is much greater, it only proves that you love the paper, my paper. If you can't love me now, don't love me later. When my later is much greater, come in, no one, no impersonator for my paper. No, girl, I know you want stability, but that no mean say you fi sell your soul for vanity. No, bright lights, fast cars at the city, and the fast lane make you lose your sanity. But so short to get the money, you will make man break your parts. But like your life make your choice, because me now make you break my heart. No, if you can't love me now, don't love me later. When my later is much greater, it only proves that you love the paper, my paper. If you can't love me now, don't love me later. When my later is much greater, come in, no one, no impersonator for my paper. No, if you can't love me now, don't love me later. When my later is much greater, it only proves that you love the paper, my paper. If you can't love me now, don't love me later. When my later is much greater, come in, no one, no impersonator for my paper. God, I wanted to learn the hard way, so I'm taking you to lover school. You want money just for party, girl. You take me for fool. Every piece of my heart I gave away. I gave it away to you. And I thought you'd understand, baby, but time's running out on you, girl. If you can't love me now, don't love me later. When my later is much greater, it only proves that you love the paper, my paper. If you can't love me now, don't love me later. When my later is much greater, come in, no one, no impersonator.
This is the brighter side with NYA the brand on Z101.9 FM.
It's your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio. Z101.9 FM.
And it's still your Reggae Wednesday on the brighter side on Z101.9 FM. And we're zooming into a very big conversation with a very big personality right here in the studios of Z101.9 FM. I'm NYA the brand, and I'll be introducing my guest in a bit. But let's just share this thought with you. You know, they are the driving force behind the success of music artists. Their fingers at the radio stations, the clubs, the parties. Those fingers, they create the opportunity for the artist to be heard. And yet, when the artist is honored, the DJ's contributions aren't mentioned. Someone says, because of how? Because of why? Well, this has been the discourse after the Telecel Ghana Music Awards last Saturday, and it has inspired us to have this beautiful conversation on the role of the DJ in artist success. And in the process, we shall unravel that and demystify the work of the DJ, because you know, some people think the DJ only selects and plays songs. I think it's more than that. And of course, DJ Pitwood will attest to that getting to the end of the show, right? He's going to tell us what goes into the selection and play of his lovely songs. We have legendary DJ KOFI DIXON, the mixing DIXON. Are critical right here in the studio. The legendary DJ KOFI DIXON, the mixing DIXON. And I say for this man, right, his headphones love him. The microphone also loves him. It's not the other way around. He's made a huge impact in broadcasting space, and he's also blazed the trail in various regards as far as DJing in Ghana is concerned. He's actually made of more, but for now, let's say he's a media person, program content manager. He's done it for 3 solid decades. If that is not legendary, I don't know what it is. And he's also the CEO of KD Consult, the Dixon Care Foundation, and the Mixing Dixon Network. And that is a lot of money sprayed on one person. Good morning to you, the legendary.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Can you hear me?
Of course. That is the voice. All right. So you are not just someone who plays. You are made of more, and we'll be unraveling that. Okay.
Exactly. That's why I'm here.
Yes. You look good. You look like a monk. Any link?
It's an angelic look.
Oh yes, it is.
This is an angelic look. This is how angels appear.
Seriously?
Yeah. This is how they appear. They come in this outfit, and they have prints of Yahweh. YHWH.
My oh my,
yeah.
I am so blessed because I have been visited by an angel.
Yes,
now,
sir.
let me also say that KOFI DIXON, yes, I've worked with you briefly here, and I must say today that you have a heart of gold. You are someone who is very selfless. I said it privately, and I'm saying it now. He will just give of his all, and that is the man seated in front of me right now. And we are going to have a quick conversation on DJing as a whole, right?
Yes.
But not just DJing. We're going to delve into other things. There is a lot we have to learn from you. So once again, welcome to your home, the studios of Z101.9 FM.
Thank you so much for having me.
How does it feel?
You know, radio is for me, it's a serious business for me. Right?
I know, right?
It's spiritual, it's passionate, it's deeply rooted in my everyday life. And it's not just about sitting in the studio. I listen to different types of music, and I'm able to tell what needs to be added, what needs to be taken out. I also listen to programming, content, you know. So I'm very much into it. It's like it's part of my DNA.
Your aura is all about radio. It's all about music. And for me, I think you are an embodiment of not just music, but quality music. And there's no wonder we had to let you come in to have this conversation with us, okay?
Grateful.
I'm going to branch because you eat music all the time, and we just ended TGMA.
Sure.
So we are just looking at some of the wins. Okay, Artist of the Year, King Promise. Well deserved.
Exactly. Exactly. Reason why it's well deserved is he was the one guy whose music just went across Ghana, just straight away, without doing anything. Like, you didn't need too much exposure.
Because the song is good.
Was good. And the song, you didn't have to understand what he was saying if you were in a different country. But you just bubble along,
yes.
And it was great. There's no, I heard people talk about I won't mention artist names.
I mean, you don't have to.
Yeah, they were saying, "Oh, this guy's done this show. He went abroad. He has 44 shows. He did this." You see, these things, this technicalities, that it doesn't matter when it comes to soulful music. Music is a creative art form. You don't need to put benchmarks around certain things. You understand? He might not have done a lot of shows, have not done so much, and making those comparisons and statistics is only because that's what people do on radio. They need to find content and talk about something so they can get following, they can get trends. You understand? All those things, they're just creating, we just creating content as program
complications.
People. You understand?
No,
if music is good, it's good.
So,
End of story.
Mixon, would you say that? So, what do I call you? Because Mixon, no, from Mixon, Mixon Dixon, and so no, Mixon Dixon. Would you say this is a question that needs an answer, though tough? Would you say that globally, quality music, lyrics and all, is appreciated more than here in Ghana? Yeah, we look at what hype and all of that, right?
Well, I'll say that, Ghana is always late to the party. I've always said that. We, first of all, we don't appreciate things. And secondly, we don't put effort in what we do. You understand?
Absolutely.
And our numbers also don't help us. All right. And the thing is that we will not allow new arts to also come in. It's difficult to allow new arts to come in. So we are saturated with the same people giving us different renditions of songs, and it becomes a bit boring. You understand? Because you have new guys coming in every day, throwing music out there. But you see, that's the problem with some of the DJs. But I think we will get into that.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think for now.
Okay, Reggae Dancehall Artist of the Year, Stonebwoy, for the 10th time consecutively.
I don't have a problem with that. He deserves it. I mean, you saw the performance. Now that is not. That's not a standard performance. That's world-class performance. The transitions, the stagecraft, the change, the outfit, the emblems, the representation of things, what he was saying, what he represented, the hairstyle, it all predicted something. It meant something. You see, the symbol that he was holding all said something. But you have to be. There's a music theory that you have to understand. You understand? Some people just sit and look and be like, "Oh, but that's nothing." But there are details to music. There are details, and he represented so much of it. I was blown away with the energy. You understand? Some artists don't know how to use the floor. They don't know how to use the stage.
God bless you.
They just stand at one spot. They let the dancers do everything, and they walk off. Even at a point, I saw when they were doing the fire, the fire side.
Tell me about it.
You understand? He wasn't even looking at them, but he was part of it.
Absolutely.
You understand? That showed that he was part of the choreography. You understand? And that's what makes you an international act when you perform on stage.
And he looks to me like an artist who evolves.
He's a serious guy. I've met him on a set where it was for No Limits. No Limits. It's a Canadian company. We're doing an interview for artists, and we picked him. And when he showed up, now I'll tell you something about this guy that I was touched. I mean, I respected him. When he came in, he had to do the interview, so he just walked onto the set. He did the interview, and after he finished the interview, everybody who was seated at the pub, he went around to say hello to every single.
Are you kidding me?
I'm telling you. And that's why I'm like, what?
Ain't gonna happen.
Never. Who? I mean, who?
Wow.
He took picture. He spent close to another 1 hour with everybody who wanted to speak to him, anybody who wanted to take pictures with him. So I went to him. I said, man, you're a serious guy. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. So yeah.
There is definitely something.
That's some serious
about
business
him.
right there.
Great. I know if we want to talk about TGMA and everything that goes with it, we will not come to you. And now let's come to you.
Okay,
the Mixon Dixon.
Come to me.
I have heard how you got into DJing.
Okay.
The resilience. How you I don't want to talk about it, but I know that your role model, one of them, was what? Azigiza Jr., right?
Jr.,
Tell me
yes.
how you got into DJing and how they battered you and you wouldn't tell us about it.
All right, so the first radio station we've had back in the early 80s, 90s was GBC. After we had kicked out the British people and we had taken over, GBC became our #1 radio station. So we had all these new voices coming in. Bear in mind, we were doing the short waves. We're not doing frequency modulation.
Absolutely.
We're doing short waves, and we're doing medium waves, and we're doing SW1, SW2. These are technical things.
Well, at
if you
that
don't,
time, not me,
yeah.
were 4 years old. Four
So-
and now 2.
Oh.
They're baby dumb.
It's upon all.
That's it. Me so 46. In year 46. Let me blow my trumpet. But at least I was listening to radio,
All
my
right,
father's
all
radio. Please carry on.
All right, so it was only one radio station then, which was GBC, and it was difficult to listen to GBC because of the frequencies. You know, if you don't live too close to Kanda, the signals don't reach you quickly, so it dips when it gets to you. So the radio, you'll be hearing, and then it comes up, then it goes, then it comes up. So it was very annoying, you know, until the frequency modulation came, which was FM. Then you had clearer voices because it gave you clearer frequencies.
Great.
So you're hearing Tommy Annan Fossey, you're hearing Charlie Sam, you're hearing Chrissy Cheidakwa, you're hearing, you know, all these names. So one time, KKD was doing a show called Pops on the Move. It's on Saturday, 7:30 to 8 p.m. And he brought on 4 DJs that particular week. So Saturday, he brings another DJ and so on for four weeks. All right, so I happened to be seated listening to the radio station. So I heard Dr. Mark of Pizar's Radio 7, which is in Tema. I heard Azigiza. I heard Joe Davis. Then I heard the Woodman. Now, these are top 4 DJs,
Wallahi.
top DJs
I know, right?
of the century. So I was like, okay, now that I've heard about these DJs, now let me check this one in. You know when follow came in,
Yes.
like when you go on internet,
Yeah.
they say follow me,
Yeah.
follow me, follow
Yeah.
me. The original follow is what I'm telling you. You have to follow these people.
Literally get up and follow.
You have to go find them.
At least I
and
met
follow.
that.
Okay. So I had to go look for where Golden Egg was because that's where Azigiza was DJing. And I found out it was in Awudome. So I have to physically take myself there. All right. So I went to Awudome. Now I didn't know that DJs don't live in the club. I didn't know.
You thought they lived in the club.
Yeah, I thought, I mean, come on. I mean,
Wow.
I thought they lived there. So they
Yeah.
wake up and they go and play, you know. So I get there and the bouncers live there. So I go and meet the bouncer and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm here to see Azigiza.
Just like
He's-
that.
Yeah, he said Azigiza is not in. So I went back. Now, it was just me and a friend of mine. We wanted to do DJing. We didn't have radio then, private radio. So all you had to do was wanting to just be a DJ for now.
Right.
So he said he was also interested. So I went with him. Paul Yankee, wherever you are, he backed out so quickly, but it's fine. So we went to see Azigiza a few times, but we never got to see him. So at this time, the bouncer, he was getting irritated. Like, what this? And I was very skinny. Right now I'm big.
I don't believe
you know,
that.
I was very skinny. So he was like, why? What is it with these 2 kids coming here every time? So anytime he sees me at the gate, he doesn't allow me to walk in.
He bounces you virtually.
He bounces me at the gate. Hey, Azigiza no day. Azigiza no day.
Oh.
Then I go back.
Oh.
The next day I'm back. And it's like, what do you want? So my friend, he was like, you know what, I'm not doing this again, forget. So I'm like, the next guy, he lived close to Awudome.
Okay.
So his house is like a minute from the club. So I told him, I'll come and stay next to
I was
your
going to
house.
ask, I hope you didn't go and stay in his house.
Oh yeah, I went there. I went to stay there for a while. So I leave his house, I go to the club, checking on this Azigiza guy constantly. Until one day I bumped into him, you understand? So that should tell you the kind of person
Why, yes, I know, you are that resilient. Why,
Yeah.
why did you want to be a DJ? Was it just for the fun of it, the beauty of it?
Okay, so I come from the civil rights era, when there was the apartheid era. I felt very, very uncomfortable with oppression. So I saw how back in the day in New York and all that, you saw how DJs were representing the music section.
Right.
So what they did was they put instrumentation on, and the rappers will come and freestyle, but they were being poetic. You understand? They were expressing our displeasure with the way black people were being treated in America. So I fell in love with that. So I said, okay, if I want to be on radio or whatever it was, and I wanted to be a DJ, my role was to break through it, so then I could carry other people along. So that was the passion for me. That's the passion for getting onto radio. But my passion for getting onto radio is not, I'm not comfortable with sitting and doing a 3-hour show and go back home. That's nonsense for me. I want to build it, you understand? That's how I'm so passionate. You think that I want to take your job. I'm not interested in your job. I just want to see it work. You understand? I'll give you one example. There was a day we had a problem here, but nobody knows.
We won't say, say that on the air.
No, it's not a problem.
Okay.
No, I just want to show you something.
It's a sweet problem.
It was something that we put on.
Okay.
We put on air.
Okay.
But wasn't at the right time that it should be on air.
Okay.
And there was nobody around. You understand? Nobody to come in and change it. So
you zoomed in to solve it.
I just left home. I came and I just walked into the studio. I just changed it and I went back home.
Oh, that is
quietly.
passion.
That's what I'm trying to say.
That is passion.
You understand? That is me. You understand?
Wow.
I don't have time for pettiness. I don't have time
No, why should you?
Who wants to do this? Who can do this? Who's set to do this?
For the love of the job, and you are so focused on what you have to do.
Work.
So that was your motivation. Now you saw Azigizar, you saw Jesus, isn't it?
So he was the first DJ I saw playing live. Now, in my mind, I was thinking, if you have to be a DJ, you will need certain equipment. So I'm thinking I have to see certain equipment. And the equipment that I imagined that I would have to work with was exactly what I saw there. That's why I told you that this, for me, is it's spiritual, it's deep. So if you come my way, wanted to mess with what I do, I take it seriously, you understand?
Right.
My job for this is serious. So I told him I like to learn. So he gave me a manual to go study. And I'm like, what do I need a manual for turntable for? But you know what he did? If you give me a turntable right now, what I will show you on the turntable, the things I will talk to you about on the turntable, the statics, the tone arms, the stylus,
you didn't go through the manual.
I did.
You did, okay.
I went sitting reading it page after page.
Whoa.
Page after page. And my friends were laughing. They were like, why you do? You see, that's the thing. Sometimes people laugh for what you do, but only you know the dream. You understand? So anyway, I learned it. I started doing what he taught me, but it wasn't enough. I needed somebody who was going to give me more time. So I found Joe Davis.
Right.
And credit to my sister. My sister was the one who took me to Miracle Mirage.
And
Miracle Mirage, I was too young to be in Miracle Mirage. You had to be, even if you were
not even young in age, you have to be a
have
bourgeois in the,
absolutely. And I was very tiny.
Jeez.
Maybe Samuela. I was like Samuela,
You don't say.
A very small, skinny guy, So I couldn't go in. So the guy said, "Look, I will take you. I'll teach you, but your job is to stay in the DJ booth. When you come in at 8 and you stay in the DJ booth,
you ain't going out.
You'll be in the DJ booth till the next morning. You have to be, because you can't walk around in the club. You're too young, And me too. I'm stubborn. One time I came out. I want to go back in, and the bouncer is like, "Hey, you stay down there." I'm like, I'm the DJ. Say, get out.
Where?
Go home. I said, "Oh, I'm the one playing. Let me go change the song." He said, "Stay down there." So fortunately, the owner was walking around. He said, "Oh, what DJ and DJ?" Oh. So he let me back in. Anyway, just to let you know how committed I had to be in there, And my job for the senior DJ was to give him every song he requested. Here, you type a song and you get it. That was my job. My job was for him to say it.
To go through the vinyls, right?
All the records. All records. So I decided I was going to do a better arrangement. So I put slow jams. I put R&B on one side. I put dance hall. Then I put up-tempo songs. So I arranged them the way I could remember.
That is a whole library.
I built the library myself. So any DJ who comes in, those days you would have the resident DJ, and then you have guest DJs. And when they come in, once I'm in the box, the DJ box, my job is to produce every song they call for. So he can say, give me Booba. Whether
Straight up.
You have to find it. Wherever it is, you have to find it. You know, so it helped me to know songs that originally I would never know.
But let's talk about
Yeah.
the transition,
Sure.
okay? Because I won't talk about gramophone because
Okay.
you didn't use
No,
that,
no, no,
but you
no.
used the turntable,
Yes,
and at
I-
a point, you DJs were using the CDs to do the and all of that, right?
Yeah.
And then we metamorphosed to the Gen Z Serato.
Yes.
How did you handle the evolution?
You know, this thing about technology is that when something new is introduced, something else dies. So you have to update. You get it? But every technology that we have had has been a build-up. It's not been something that has destroyed something.
Right.
It's been a build-up. So if you look at the Seratos or the controllers, let's look at the controllers. The controllers were built just like the turntable. The only difference is that you don't have to struggle to find your pitch benders.
Okay.
The pitch benders are your, you know, when the song is
I
playing.
mean, I know it on the piano or the keyboard, but when it comes to this one,
Okay, so it is the one right to your right hand.
Okay.
Your left on the console.
okay.
No, the console right there.
Oh, here.
Yeah. You
Okay.
see the one right there.
This
that's,
one.
That's what determines how fast the song is or how slow it is.
Okay.
All right. So the pitch benders on the techniques was implemented here.
Oh, yes.
They made it easier because they put a synchronization button
On it.
So when you press a song, you see, and that's why some of the DJs play crap, because when
Talk about that.
when they when they press the synchronization button, a song that needs to go at maybe 85 BPM is 95, 100. Then it's like hook back, you know, that kind of thing.
Yes.
You know, so it at that point, it has not helped DJs to build their music intellectual abilities so that you can actually just sit and say, if I play Brandy, if I can give or take, that should be around 89, 90 BPMs. I can follow that with Mr. Loverman. I can play that with Mysterious Girl. I can play that with Sechin. Sechin is from China Doll.
Right.
I can play the next TLC. And, you know,
On and on and on and on.
you have the library in your head, because that's what the turntable era was. You had your BPMs.
And it's actually probably built you. It's just probably like we recording songs in the studio during the
Exactly.
analog, and now
Exactly.
everything is rippled for us. And
Exactly.
we are even tweaking our voices, and so our stagecraft is also crying.
Thank
probably
you.
we'll talk about that one later.
Thank
but
you.
we get you.
Yeah.
Aside being a DJ and presenter, you at Choice FM, the defunct Choice FM.
Yeah.
I know you were programs manager.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that journey briefly?
That journey was just one awesome one. I called on Mr. Fred Owari, and I told him that, you know what, I love to do radio. I see that the station is not doing well. If you give me the chance, I'm going to come with my team, and we can make it work. And he said, okay, all right, come by. So I went by. He says, what do you need? Excuse me. He says, so he said, what do you need? I said, I'll need I want to handle programs. So I need a general manager. I need an accountant. I need an HR person. So, and he's like, why do you need all that? Just do all that
Start that
yourself,
thing and
you
let's
know.
go.
Just be everything. And I said, no, Mr. Wari, that's not how this works. The team must be together, because the people I'm going to come with, they are going to demand certain things from me.
Right.
And I have to give them the right channels, you know. So I made a few calls and I brought my team in. Then I decided to get the marketing guys, and I got all these people. I got my sports guys, I got my newscasters, I got my my DJs. For me, the DJs was paramount. You understand? If every station had to thrive, it had to thrive on, if the content was music based, and every station, I mean, in Ghana, 80% is music.
That is why we're even having this conversation.
80% in music. You can't run a station and tell me that you don't need DJs and all that. Or
Of course.
Just shut the station down.
Of
You
course.
can't talk morning to evening. You understand?
Of course.
So it's got the music content to it. So I had to get the best of DJs in there. And I had to program them in such a way that they had to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So musically, we were taking over. So that's how we started it. And we paid ourselves from the time we took off. And you see, the thing with getting people who will match your energy or even be above your energy is that you have a team that will kill and work for you so that you will look good anytime.
And you didn't mind that they were above your energy, your abilities.
If you understand my background, then you would understand that I thrive on how I can tap something from you. If I see that you're good at something, one time I was talking to Pete Wade. He didn't know. I was speaking to him, and I think he was picking certain songs. So I've been listening to him, and I said, you pick rare songs. You're not an Afrobeat, hardcore Afrobeat.
Tell him for me.
I told him several times, So I like that sort of people. I can pick certain things from you without you knowing, So if I need somebody to step in for me, I know who to call.
Absolutely.
You understand? So all these people who had higher energies will come and say, my brother, we are not getting this thing done right. What's up? They get you to sit on your toes. You understand? So that the CEO is free. He doesn't come to bother us too much because at the end of the day, if I'm slacking, I have peers who are waking me up.
That's right.
You understand? So once you have your right
that is
team,
what made your success story
that's what made it work. Yeah.
Great.
That's what made it work. We are not petty. that's it.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful because we are still learning. Well, let's talk about this major achievement that I just got to learn. I'm taking you back to DJing. Okay. This mixtape thing.
Yeah.
Where did it come from? Because I'm just learning that you introduced it to where? Ghana?
No, not to Ghana. But
you pushed it.
I pushed it. Okay. So when I saw the era we were in, we were doing more of foreign music. The only music we had was high life music. And high life music was for the older folks from where I come from. You understand? So the younger folks, we didn't have anything. So it was just maybe KK Kabobo who would do some rap. Stupid Mike Jenfi would do something. There was nothing that we could say was for the young folks. So I noticed that the boys at Quinas, the boys at Accra Academy, Achimota, and all that were doing rap songs, but onto foreign instrumentation. You get what I mean? So I was like, okay, now let me go find these boys, take them to the club, give them the instrumentation so that I record it. So that's what I was doing. I was doing that as far back as the early 90s. I'm sure 1990, 91. You understand? So I picked Eddie Blay. Eddie Blay was from a group called Notorious for Life. It was Eddie Blay, Tinikwe, and Dead Body. Dead Body
is still hanging around.
Yeah.
I remember I interviewed him in 2012.
So Dead Body is not, the Dead Body you see
He's not dead though.
It's a rap artist. It's a hip hop rap artist. You understand? So I noticed that these guys got hype. So I went to Eddie Blay's house and I picked him up. I asked permission from the mother, and I picked him up and I took him to the club. And we did the first recording, the mixtape, myself, Eddie Blay, and BB Manson. You get it? So I was trying to document, we're documenting this thing as far back then, and we didn't know that it was going to open the door for Reggie to come in and Reggie transformed, but we are not talking.
I mean, I know, I get it.
So that's where we started from. And then I also picked the idea from the foreign DJs, like the Kiss FMs, the Choice FMs, the Hard 97s at the time, because I invested time. What I did was, if you were traveling abroad, all I needed was magazines or tapes, radio tapes.
You didn't need jeans.
No.
You didn't need give us a cap.
No.
Really?
No. My girlfriend back then, she used to go to UK a lot. If she was coming back,
Paco jeans.
It was tapes.
Seriously,
radio tapes.
As a young guy, are you sure you're not reincarnated? Some ancestor somewhere? Because at that time, as a young, how you described yourself, for you to crave for professionalism and crave for all of that, I think you might have come from somewhere.
No, I just love to excel. That's all.
And he loves to excel. Who is he? If you're just tuning in, I'm speaking to the legendary DJ Mixon Dixon, real name KOFI Dixon. And he is telling us about his journey, why he even chose DJing in the first place. And then we are in a bit going to talk about the role DJs play, particularly in the success of the artist. That is actually why we're having this conversation, but not until we've unraveled who the DJ is. Tell us quickly about some of your memorable moments as a DJ.
I recall one time where it was in Dunsamon. There was a pub that was opening, and they came to me and they wanted me to headline it. So the other DJs also had to support. All right, but what we do is you leave the 1 a.m. for me, because I'm the main man, you understand? So I'll leave the other boys to play until it's 1. That's where everybody comes around.
That's where the show is.
All right. So when I came at 1, there was one guy who was about to play. So he said to me, he said, "Oh, Chief, I beg, let me play small, because when you come, nobody will see me again." And I said, "How long do you want to play?" He said, "Oh, 30 minutes. I said, "You do 30 minutes. You understand? That's what I was trying to tell you, that I like to pull people up.
That's right.
All right? Because the people who brought us into the limelight, they gave us that opportunity as well. So we also have to, like they say, each one lift one. We have to do same.
You are so selfless.
And we have to.
That's
so
right.
That's one of the things that stood out for me. And the other one that showed me the environment that I was in was, whilst I was listening to this foreign tapes, I listened to a DJ who was doing the rebounds. The rebounds are, for those who don't understand, rebound is you pick a song playing, like the music in the background, turn it up just a little bit.
There we are.
Okay. So I'll pick an interpolation of the song, I'll pick a setting range, and then I'll keep it there, right? And then I'll pick the same space, same interpolation, same range on the next song. And I keep it at the same pace, bring it back to back, back to back.
Painful.
So I have to, it's like I have elongated the song.
That's right.
Okay, so that's what we call the rebound.
That's right.
So I went back to the club trying to rehearse. So I was using the song from Maze. Now, Maze be the one that, that song.
Yeah.
So I was using that one. So when I went into the club, one dude who was in the club, he was also a DJ. He asked me, he said, what are you doing? I said, I'm trying to do the rebound. He said, oh, he's smoking guy. He said, level.
But we don't want to learn to become.
That's what he said. This is not our level. So I immediately knew where his level was and where I was. I realized that we were in two different worlds.
We are no mates.
You understand?
Yes.
So those were two of the things that stood out for me, that I knew where I was going. The other person also felt that I'm comfortable once I can change tracks. That's fine.
I think you were a huge DJ in some other world. You came back to continue from where you stopped. That is what I think. Now, from the days of Mike Egan, Mike Egan actually introduced DJing. Okay, you didn't mention his name because he is way there. I'm sure from the time of
I was
still on the
very
time.
young.
Absolutely, yes. To Tommy Annan Forsen, who did it in the clubs. He used to shake the clubs without his shirt and all of that. To all of that, you have actually picked a bit from all of them.
Yeah.
And you have added your own style to it, because the Mixon Dixon that I know, he's got a style of his own, is it?
Yeah.
All right. Let's quickly look at the music industry.
Okay.
Then and now. A lot has changed. What's your impression? I'm talking about Ghana, briefly.
The music is good. The music is good. I would not sit here and bad mouth because, like I keep saying, it's creativity, and you cannot condemn something that somebody has created.
Absolutely
It's
not.
either you're not comfortable with it, but if we are talking about clarity, we are talking about recording quality, we are talking about content, the production, then that's a different story, because we are using equipment depending on how much money you have and which studio you can go, because every other studio has a label and every other studio has a production sound which becomes their signature, right? Like Arista Records in the US has a sound quality. Motown has a sound quality. Death Row has a sound quality. Same here. Apietus has his. KY and all these people have. So if somebody gets to sit at home and you know, decides that he wants to do his own production and it doesn't come out right, I can tell you that that's scrap. I will tell you.
That's constructive criticism.
I'll tell you that.
And then you probably tell them what is right, what should be done.
Exactly.
And then the person picks up and learns.
But the music is good. The content they're doing, the content they're bringing out is good. They're churning out some good tunes. I'm saying sometimes.
A very good blend.
I'm like, sometimes, there was a song King Promise put out. And I think it was The song is And I was just listening to it. I was like, man, this is a jam, man. That's a jam.
I know,
that was some good tune, you know. And R2Bs, they drop tunes, and the way they handle the video, you know, especially with Payday, you know, the way he carries himself, you know, they just remind me of watching like The Roots, watching like De La Soul and all these guys. No, the music is good.
There is definitely hope for our industry. But I'm going to take you way back, okay, to the times of X-Do and Co. And I hear that the legendary DJ, the Mixon Dixon, his name was mentioned in this song. So it's not a reggae song, it's Reggae Wednesday. But I'm going to digress and play this one. You hear his name spoken out loud in this one. Oh, say what? Say that again. Yo. Why yeah?
Is the brighter side with NYA the brand on Z 101.9 FM.
Ewa, you know, my sickness is that when somebody is good, I just can't stand it. I have to let it out. I heard your name in X-Do's song. You know that I've listened to this song, Maba, and I've been dancing with it, forgetting that your name is in there. I didn't even hear it. It's DJ Pete Wade who mentioned it. Well, how did you feel with that?
There's a nice story to that. I went to Ashanti Records, Ashanti International in Dansuma, Nana King's studio, and he was working on this song. They were almost done, and I was in the living room and I was hearing the music being played. So the beat caught my attention. I had not listened to the lyrics. The beat caught my attention, so I went to him and I said, "Yo, what's up with this song?" He said, "Oh, we can't put it out." Ooh. I said, "Why can't you put it out?" He said, "Because it's like a diss track." I said, "This is what music is about sometimes. The beef is it's
beefing. That is what caused the
it's creativity, you know, it's not." So he said, "Oh, no, wait." I said, Can I have a CD so I can go listen to it?" And I took it straight to work. And I went and I jammed this on radio. I hit it back and forth. And so the Laboni guys, which is Reggie's crew, because this song touched Reggie, mainly he was touching Reggie. So I was like, this is interesting, because the Laboni guys were like, why would you come and diss our hit line crew? But Nana King, because Nana King is an African American, he understands these things. So when the boys were making all the noise, we decided that we're going to meet up with them and explain certain things. Reggie was cool. But you see, the backstory is that it was not X-Do who wrote this song. It was Ochiame KOFI who wrote the song.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Ochiame KOFI wrote the song to this Reggie. But X-Do was the man at the time to pull this off.
Yes.
Yeah. And the beat that they put on was excellent. So that's how come the music was done. So I was like, okay, in order for us to make it very friendly, although it's a straight, serious song, let's try and find a way to bring everybody in. So as though tactfully decided that he was going to represent and call all these radio DJs and let them be part of the song by default. You understand? You see? So if you watch how he mentioned the names, he picks from stations, stations. So if you were playing it at your radio station, your peeps are there.
It's there. So
let it
you
fly.
and you will keep on playing.
So
Like
let
how
it
I
fly.
heard your name and I had to reverse. Now let's quickly come to what the founder and executive director of the Ghana DJ Awards, that's Mekri Quay, what he said. He is saying that award winners, TGMA award winners, or the artists should have appreciated DJs in their
Yes.
speeches. What
Yeah.
do you think?
It's 100% statement to make, because when music started, I always take it from when music started. When music started, that was the culture. The culture was that artists and the DJs, we were married. You understand?
That was then.
That is how it's been. That's why real artists always go with the DJs. They always have a DJ to help them with the set. So you have artists from way back then. Let's say Yo MTV Raps. I keep making those references because that was the song that
Very
internationally,
necessary. Very necessary.
that is what we were playing.
That's right.
Until we found our hip life and our reggaes and all that.
That's
we were
right.
playing foreign music. So funk, no funk was Yo MTV Raps, Fab Five Freddy and Dr. Dre were doing stuff like that. So they have an artist who comes to rap and the DJ who would help him with the tunes. So everywhere you go, if you go back YouTube, wherever, you just go back to the 90s and you will find a DJ,
The DJ
on
was
set.
prominent there.
That was his job. His job was to help you. You know, sometimes our job, I don't know if we would tackle that, but our
Because
job,
we're coming into that, yes.
Exactly. So I'll not delve into it, but I'll just say our job, it's bigger than you see it. It's bigger than you see
let's go, because apart from the fact that even at the TGMAs, you're miming and it's a DJ that is helping you. I don't believe in miming.
Yeah.
I don't know what you think. But I think we should metamorphose from this miming thing and
mime. If you're not playing well, the guy will mime. You understand? If you're not, if you're not paying well, he will mime.
He will not take his time to rehearse and all that. But isn't it also an indictment on your craft as an artist?
Yeah, but he will go somewhere else and perform properly. It depends on
Is
where
that
he
is that the reason why our artists are not utilizing the live music thing? Is that the reason?
I am not particularly for live performances.
Okay.
I am for a DJ set and an artist. I've been for that ever since. I'm not a fan of artists and live band. Doesn't do anything for me.
Right.
Mine is to see the guy performing. Have you seen R. Kelly perform?
Oh, whoa.
R. Kelly performs, whether it's a live band, whether it's a record playing in the background, the presentation is different.
Okay, but you are talking like, okay, if you have instrumentation and I'm going to perform on it,
Yes.
so you can hear my voice
Yes.
over what the DJ is playing
Exactly.
without the lyrics.
Yes.
That is where my worry is. Why should I just come and sing over my own song that's got the lyrics and it's like I'm singing? Then at a point I do the mic like this and my voice is still singing. I'm not. You see, this is what I'm talking about. Well, maybe that's not what we're talking about today.
No,
but
I'm not
yes.
talking about miming. I'm for the culture.
Culture.
I'm a hip hop head. Okay,
That's right.
I'm a hip hop head. So you won't find me going
With-
for
of
that.
course,
No.
of course.
I want to see a DJ, and that's why I represent a DJ. You understand?
Big time.
I want to see a DJ on the set. If you want a live set, you can have a live band set up. It's not a problem. But when you do the setup, make sure even now we're doing the setup connected to the original versions of the song,
Right.
the original instrumentations of the song. So these guys who are playing in the background are only playing into it.
Exactly.
Anyway,
In the
you
first
understand?
place. All
So you can't take away my job. You understand?
Yeah, he's not really biased towards DJs. He's just speaking his authentic mind. Now, a look at DJs' contributions to artist success over the years.
Yeah.
Describe it.
So we introduce new music. We introduce the artists to the world. We help you to understand what songs are good to listen to. We can determine. We are like taste makers. We can tell you what's nice because we have the ear for good music. And when we put our songs right now, we're going digital. So when when a DJ puts a mix on the iCloud, he's trying to get following, and your music makes representation and gets a wider range. That's what the DJ does. I'm not into a DJ. What's the meaning of a DJ? A disc jockey. What does he do? He puts one song here, put another song here.
And
He
then
synchronizes. That we've gone past that like 20, 30 years ago. You understand? We've gone past that. We are distributors. We are promoters. We are creators. We are programmers. We co-collaborate with artists. That's our role. Unless
Is that what is happening in Ghana?
That's what's happening now.
That's what is happening
They're
now.
waking up. People are waking up.
They are waking up,
You
because
understand?
hitherto we are looking at, I play in the club, I
No,
close
no,
at
no,
3,
no,
I go home, I play at a radio station,
That's not where
I
we
take
are.
payola so I can
No.
I can play your
No,
music.
no. You see, the artist needs the promotion.
Yes.
The artist needs the leeway to also hear, to have people hear him. You need a mouthpiece on an outlet. Now, when I say DJ, I want to also elaborate that a radio station also pioneers that. The DJs who play on the radio station, the radio station enhances that. So the radio station also becomes part of the promotion outlet. So the radio DJs who are there, that's why they are radio DJs who work on the radio station. So your role to play at the pub, you must gravitate to play at the radio station so you can be more influential. So when you take a song and you play, like Hot 97, Funkmaster Flex was your YouTube, he was your Instagram, he was your everything. Because when you took a song to him and he puts it on radio, you are made. Why would Jay-Z want to give Funkmaster Flex $100,000 or a Rolex watch for him to play his song? Even now, do you understand? That's like, you have a mouthpiece. If you are a DJ and you're not credible to have a following. I'm not saying the numbers on YouTube, but numbers where your show drives a certain force.
Right.
Like, let's say you don't play a lot of local songs, but let's say you did. Your show would be something that everybody wants to listen to, because there might be some new song that you will play.
Oh, I do play local songs.
Okay, and
I
if
have
you-
days I do that.
Okay, lovely. And if you do play it, somebody hears it, and they fall in love with it. How do we make you love a song? You see, we have learned something called programming as a DJ. We have learned something called repetitive music. We will play it. We will play it.
Hammer
We will
it.
play it until
Exactly.
it sits. That is the idea for promotion. We will make sure that it sits. Now, if you have your own song, where are you going to play it? You understand? You say you have the YouTubes and all that. How many people will go there to listen to it every day? It's just sitting there. So as and when. But if you have a DJ on there and he was playing it every second, you'll be like, oh, I'm tired of this song, but you will love it.
And so we are making the songs popular.
We make the songs
Absolutely.
popular. That's why we're taste makers. That's why the taste making part comes in. We make sure that we bridge. We are just the bridge between the artist and the listeners. The listeners.
And so you would say that perhaps the DJ in Ghana is not really appreciated enough
No,
by the
'cause-
artist, by everyone.
You see, I said when we started this conversation, I said Ghana, we're always late to the party.
Now, wow, we don't appreciate our own. We want to wait, and people will hail them, and before even I don't want to bring myself in, but the film industry, Nigeria are hailing
Yeah.
myself,
Yeah.
and then Ghana, to our way. Continue, but it shall be
So-
well, won't it?
Yeah, it will. No,
Yes.
but it will, because now we have all the incentives to do stuff. You did mention that, filming is going to go, artificial intelligence is going to
AI.
come in.
It's
and
a
all that.
conversation Delphi is bringing
all
up this afternoon.
Okay, so I'm sure when you speak to him, you have more of that. We are getting into spots where very soon you'll find out that if you can't measure up. If you can't measure up, nobody wants to play with you. You understand? In 2013, I was in Nigeria, and I was surprised to see that big brands, not when Glow came to Ghana to do whatever it is, they were doing that in Nigeria before they came to Ghana. Big brands were looking for artists as brands for endorsement. So you go to a pub. I'm just talking Nigeria, not too far away. Nigeria exhibits that promotional industry with brands, with artists being their collaborators.
Wow.
Here, Aziza in the early 90s was the one who was consulted to be a brand ambassador for
A particular, yes,
particular, And I thought, I thought that was genius for him to have done that.
That's right.
You understand? But it died because we didn't have the mindset
culture,
to carry on.
That's right.
We don't have it. We don't have that culture to carry on, like you just said.
Yeah.
And you see, sometimes we act like we know it. We don't know it.
We're learning.
You understand?
Yeah.
You go to SA. I was listening to 94.7, and I was listening to the content. I was like, damn. You go to UK, you go to the US, and you see they build. That is the problem here. We don't have a creative section. That's where the promotion, the marketing, that's where it comes in. Your job is just to sit and build it. You build it, and when you build it, it doesn't mean that it must go that way. You can fine tune it. Somebody should not be the one deciding what should be fine tuned or what you like.
It should be you.
What you like doesn't mean somebody else is going to like it. What you don't like, somebody else is going to like. You understand?
Oh, well, this is like a whole school for me and for everyone listening. You're listening to The Brighter Side on Z101.9 FM. I'm having an amazing, very educative chat with a legendary DJ by all standards, KOFI DIXON, the Mixin' DIXON, and we are actually demystifying DJing, and we are also looking at the role the DJ plays in promoting artists, and it goes beyond just sitting at the radio station and talking, playing music and all of that. In a bit, in fact, right now, let's look at how the DJ at a radio station or the DJ out there should brand themselves so they can position themselves even on the global front, because that is where the thing is happening. Very briefly.
Okay, I think attitude is the thing.
Attitude?
Attitude, yeah. You need to have an attitude. Attitude in the lifestyle, in your outfits, your mindset, understanding where you're going, availing yourself to new traits, learning new skills, educating you say, well, how do you say that?
Educating.
Educate.
Oh, brother, big brother. You want to put me on the spot, right?
Educate yourself. You have to read stuff. I did a lot of studying behind the scenes. I read PR, I did marketing, I did
all of that for a DJ and
wow. I did marketing. I even went as far as to do project management, and I use the project management to build my programming, and I know what to do at what time, where to bring it in. So I find ways to do stuff so maybe there's something that I cannot do, right? I know who is best to do it.
You let the person do it.
That's how it is. That's how it is. That's how you just manage stuff. Anyway, so we just leave it here.
Thank you so much. This is a lot to learn in a few minutes. Yeah. Thank you so much, legendary DJ and more, because he's actually made of more. I was going to let you tell me what KD Consult is, but we have just a minute for the news to come in. But you have been helping us to talk about the role of the DJ in promoting the artist and even more. Thank you so much for passing by. It's been a great conversation, and I know you will pass by again for a different dimension of facets of this discussion. Thank you so much. And we're going for the midday news in 2 minutes, and right after that we'll Wednesday on the brighter side on Z101.9 FM. Thank you so much for enjoying this conversation. I believe it's done you a lot of good. And so stick and stay with the midday news team. Coming up shortly is the news. And right after the news, we'll continue on the reggae note. I'm your one and only NYA, the brand.